gotta bring in Georgi from Bulgaria, pronouns he, him, our theist, and who's going to explain why we are eternal beings in 3 minutes. All right, I gotta pull up the timer if we're gonna hold to that strictly. But Georgi, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
All
Okay.
right. So you've made a big claim, and I'm going to let you get started and show why I am, amongst all the other callers, am an eternal being.
So, can I start?
Please.
If we look at it scientifically, what we can concur about our reality is that we exist. Second, we have awareness, and only that is access to reality, and also that change is a constant. We know only these 3 things. Can you hear me?
I would like to claim I know more things, but those are things that I think we agree on, that I exist, I experience things, but where does the eternity come into this? Because if we talk about all I can experience, I don't experience things infinitely into the past. My existence seems to be very finite in the past. I can't remember anything before the early 1980s.
Let me make myself clear on the second part. All we have access to is awareness.
Okay.
All right. Well, when does the proof come in? I mean, I feel like you're just making claims at this point. Well, when are we getting to a conclusion? Have you gotten to a conclusion yet?
Well, the second thing I would like to say is that we have self-imposed limitation on our consciousness from non-physical to physical reality.
Self-imposed?
That is the claim.
Now, Georgi, I think I remember you calling in and making this claim, and I asked you if I just believed hard enough, I could flap my arms and fly like a bird. So remind me, is that something you believe, that if I really believe in my heart, I can fly like a bird by flapping my arms?
Yes, I believe that practically we can do that, but we have chosen to have a physical experience. We want the evolution of things.
Georgi, are you familiar with the concept of children?
Yes, of course.
Do children believe things that are not real?
Probably Santa and these kinds of things.
I bring this up because there are all sorts of unfortunate stories of children who think Power Rangers are real or Superman are real and end up doing very dangerous things and getting themselves hurt or killed because of those beliefs. Those children did not seem to be internally imposing gravity onto themselves when they jumped off a wall or higher things, thinking they could fly like Superman.
My claim is that we want the experience of evolution in physical reality. That is why we have rules.
That seems like a dodge to everything I just said. You're saying that these thoughts are self-imposed, and I pointed out there are children who believe things that don't have those same beliefs adults do, and reality hits them hard, sometimes deadly hard.
My response to that is that we don't know what we want. From a higher perspective, we want the evolution of ideas and physical reality.
How does this answer my objection that our beliefs don't actually make reality, but reality imposes itself on us? And again, with the example of people believing they fly and unfortunately discovering, no, they do not.
Because I'm telling you that your inner being and your non-physical being wants the contrast in physical reality, so we can have more awareness of what we would like to have in physical reality and to enjoy it, to have fun.
So hold on, Georgie, if we are non-physical beings, and maybe I'm misunderstanding this, and you can elaborate for me. If we're non-physical beings, then why is it that when the physiology or the chemistry of our brains change, our being changes? Why does that happen?
We have set it up this way so we can have contrast. So
No. We have
we
not set up anything. This is nothing that humans have set up. This is nothing that I've set up, nor Aaron has set up. This is just a fact of reality that if you change the physiology of our brains, either chemically or the physical structure of our brains, then our personality changes, our being changes, like all of that. Our consciousness changes, like all of that changes. So I guess that's where I'm not understanding how we can not be physical beings when it seems like our physical bodies are very much tied to our being.
Let me unpack that. So the first three things I told you is what we can concur about physical reality. So we cannot say for sure if this reality is not a dream.
I'm sorry, this comes across as hard solipsism now, and that's not of any benefit
Probably.
to
I don't know.
anybody in our. No, I'm just saying, like, this is not any kind of benefit to anybody in a conversation. Like, who cares whether or not, like, we're in one massive, like, simulation or dream or however you want to mention it. We're all presented with this reality that we're having to interact with. I'm having to interact with you as a caller. I interact with Aaron on a near daily basis. Like, we're all interacting in this reality, in this shared dream, if you want to reference it as a dream. The fact of whether or not it's a dream doesn't help us with the conversation that we're having right now. So, like, it's I feel personally that it's pretty pointless to bring up, like, the problem of hard solipsism.
Well, by definition, existence has to exist, and things that don't exist do not exist. So that means that each moment is a parallel, simultaneous reality.
That is just a non sequitur up the highest magnitude. Nothing follows from what you just said.
We know that we exist, but as what form do we exist? We can change that.
I can't change my form. You think that you do you honestly think that if I could change my form, I wouldn't, like, fix my pancreas right now, or I wouldn't, people would be able to lose weight on the fucking Tootsie Roll diet, like, if that were the case. So I mean, like, your claim here just doesn't make sense with the reality that we exist in. So, like, is there any way that you could come to some kind of conclusion that's supported by actual, like, evidence, or are you just going to continue to make wild ass non sequitur claims?
The first three things I told you are what we can concur. So they're not claims.
So wait, so we exist. So that's one statement. We are aware of shit. That's
all
the
we
second
have
one,
access
correct?
to is awareness.
All we have access to is awareness. Okay. Change is constant, or is that? Sorry, I can't even read my own handwriting here.
Change is a constant, yes.
Change is a constant, which I feel like is an oxymoron. And that sounds like an oxymoron there, Aaron, because I feel like there's a
self-destructive way you could run that, and there's a more sound way of doing that. So let's just take it as a way that's believable and interpretable, that things change over time. Let's accept that at least is consistent with my senses, that not everything is constantly static.
So we create this reality by our focus. So if Muhammad
that does not follow in the least
made
from
a
anything you
religion,
previously said. That assertion has absolutely nothing to do with the three premises that you previously set up.
I would like to say is that what is an overwhelming truth is that all of us want to feel good, want to have fun, want to party whenever we like, and we want to feel good. That is a truth of itself.
That's I can guarantee you that there are Mormons out there that do not want to have a good time like that. Like, I mean,
I would also point out that that might be what many people do want, but then also reality comes along, smacks us in the face, and we don't get those things that we want. Again, kind of suggesting there's something out there that doesn't conform to our desires. In fact, if we go by just our desires, irrespective of what we want the consequences to be, we end up living pretty terrible lives.
I agree, but it's the level of focus that determines what reality we experience. So we have poisonous snakes in our reality, but in another reality, we don't age, we don't need to eat or drink food.
Georgie, in another reality, I have my fucking magical chocolate factory and I'm not a diabetic. Like, I mean, I could come up with any fucking like weird thing as another in another reality, the world is ruled by chocolate T-Rexes. In another reality, Donald Trump isn't president. Like, I mean, I could come up with so many different fucking things here. That's another reality. That's just another speculative claim. I have no idea how this actually connects like to anything that you're trying to prove, especially why we are eternal beings. Like, you haven't actually established that. You've just given us some statements, like statements that don't lead to a conclusion, that they in no way syllogistically come to like supporting a conclusion. Is there any way that we could build upon the bullshit that you've already presented to us and come to the conclusion of, you know, we are eternal beings?
Without contrast, we cannot experience neither good or bad. So if we want to feel good most of the time, sometimes there has to be contrast.
I'm sorry, good and bad are subjective and by nature, and so like we can experience good and bad things because consciousness is an emergent property of complex central nervous systems and, you know, all that. So like we can experience those things. I don't see how that makes us an eternal being.
And on top of that, some people come into this world and live short, painful, suffering lives for the, you know, the few minutes that they're actually alive. There are infants that are born into this world that just know nothing but suffering as they are just desperately trying to breathe air, but their lungs have not fully formed, and they die painfully in those cases. So no, there are unfortunately cases where there is nothing but suffering. You can have nothing but suffering without good being there to contrast. Believe me, I don't have to be told that being punched hurts constantly to know that. And conversely, you can also know things suck without seeing a better example.
I agree. But the way we have set it up from non-physical point of view is that we need contrast so we can grow and make choices. So we want to be engaged in a meaningful way with meaningful goals.
I'm sorry.
We want to be engaged in meaningful ways with meaningful goals, but we need a reality where we feel separate so we can make the journey. If there is no physical reality, the journey is not going to be, I don't know.
Georgie,
I'm sorry. Are you fucking
You've said over, if I may, Georgie, it seems like over and over again, it's what you wish to be true rather than what you can actually show to be true. You've literally called in as proof nothing but literal wishful thinking.
But the three things I
And
said
I
at
have
the
to break it to you,
beginning,
Georgie. Sometimes wishes don't come true.
I know that.
Do you?
So how do we actually? Well, that's the thing, though, Georgie. If we agree that wishes don't come true, what is it that can actually show anything about what you wish to be true about reality, physical or super physical or anything else is actually true? You might want it to be the case, and I know lots of people want those things to be true, but in the same way, wanting to fly does not mean you can fly like Peter Pan. Wanting chocolate T-Rexes does not make them true, and so many other things that we really want in this world does not make them the case. What actually makes it believable any of the things that you want to be true are actually real?
The journey is the destination. We need something like a physical reality where we
That's a platitude, not
experience.
evidence or an argument. Guess what? I also want things. That does not make them real or achievable.
Okay, let me ask you this. What would you be doing if you were an infinite eternal being?
That's an interesting question. I don't know if I'd be doing anything because I'd have infinite time to do whatever I wanted, so I'd just be lazy.
And existence is infinite. We can choose infinite dimensions, infinite worlds. It's
No,
just
that's
that
not
physical
apparently true.
reality.
That's actually, Georgie, if we're going to go by experience, that is what I find out every single time I look at my bank account and I look at the possibilities of what exist. And the Bank of America tells me, no, they're not possible.
Georgie, I'm just wondering, can you do me a favor and shit in one hand, wish in the other, and tell me which one fills up faster? Because I feel like that's essentially what you're doing right now. Is you're trying to convince us that wishing in one hand is going to fill up faster than if I were to shit in the other. I can guarantee you, due to my schedule, it will definitely fill up faster. The shit hand will.
I agree. Well,
I have to ask again, Georgie, are you fucking with us? Like, I feel like you're fucking with us.
No. I do believe these things. I do believe them because it's obvious to me.
It's definitely not obvious to us. What is more obvious is that you're not very convincing, at least not tonight, Georgie.
Okay, let me just finish with this. Physical reality has perks that we don't have in an infinite state as non-physical beings.
I don't know
how to process that.
You don't have to. I'm not trying to convert you or anything.
Can I hold on?
It's not so much that is that I couldn't really follow I don't even understand what was in that statement. I got lost in the verbiage. It was not clicking to me. I wasn't sure what you actually meant by what you said.
Yeah.
The journey is the destination. Physical reality has perks that we don't have in non-physical.
Can I ask you something, Georgie, to see if you understand it?
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand this sentence? I say sentence loosely. Traditional archetypes undertakes pure morality. Does that sentence make sense to you?
Undertake. I'm not sure. Are you talking about religion?
No, it's a nonsensical word salad statement that I got from the wisdomofpeterson.com, which is exactly what your statement just sounded like. Like, here's another one. Evil is the force that is rooted in species specific mysteries. Like,
Can you repeat
I'm
that?
trying. I don't, it's not going to matter. It's word salad. Is it? Okay. Evil is the force that is rooted in species specific mysteries.
Whoa. It sure is.
Like,
yeah. I don't know.
Oh my God. Dude, this is
I don't
literally
know if the Twitter account is still there. I don't know if the Twitter account is still running, but it's the fake Chopra quote generator.
Oh, this is the Peterson one.
It's still,
but yeah,
I know, but those are like real sentences. But there's also the fake one that also you can't tell if it's actually something Deepak Chopra said or if it's something the random word generator produced, because they're both grammatically the same, but content-wise also equally vacuous.
So Georgi, I'm sorry, that was supposed to be a demonstration as to the fact that the sentence that you're trying to say and the statement that you're trying to make just sounds like word salad to us, because it seems to not mean anything. I don't know. I don't know why you think that it makes sense, but I feel like unless you're willing to sort of reformat it into like, you know, in a way that we can grasp, like, I just don't see us like really getting anywhere, because in this entire conversation you've not actually proven that we are eternal beings. You've just either made statements of fact that come to no conclusion, or you know, you've just made claims that are unsupported, and remain unsupported. So like, I don't know where to go from here. If you're just going to spout off wisdom of Peterson level type of sentences that are just basically word salad that don't mean anything, and you're not willing to explain it, or maybe you can't explain it, then I don't know how we actually progress in a conversation.
I want to ask you, have you heard of the Venus Project by Jacques Fresco?
And I haven't heard of
Venus
that, but I
Project.
don't know how.
Jacques Cousteau, the diver.
It's about a new economy. It's about a new economy and a new way of living. And he's like the opposite of Muhammad, who made a religion by himself focusing his consciousness.
I'm sorry.
So
are you
we are
starting to
creating
shill
this
a
reality.
cult? Hold on. Are you trying to shill a cult on here? Is that what you're trying to do, or is this like an
No, it's
MLM,
not
like
a
a
cult.
multi-level
It's not a
marketing
cult.
thing? Do I just need to give you my
No,
social
nothing
security
with
number?
money. It's the opposite. It's the opposite.
Oh, you're going to give me money.
It is
I'm going to
the-
get your social security number. I've got my pen. What is it?
There is a site, the Venus Project.
No, I'm not going to the
If you
site.
would like to, yeah, I'm saying that,
I mean,
like Muhammad made a religion, and now we all talk about it, you know,
right.
and we
Wait,
create this
Muhammad,
reality with our focus.
Like the Islamic prophet Muhammad, the one that fucks 9-year-old children. Yeah, the one that fucks 9-year-old children. Why are you listening to a pedophile?
No,
I'm not listening to him. I'm talking about this. We use our focus to create this reality, and people are still talking about Jesus and still talking about Muhammad.
Okay, I don't understand how that has any bearing on what we've been talking about. Sorry, were you not saying that? Were you not saying that Muhammad created the religion?
What we give our attention to, we get. This is the point I'm making.
If it helps, there is a Wikipedia page for the Venus Project. It looks like it was founded just over 40 years ago, and it's down in Florida. And let's just say this much. I've been to Florida. I have not seen evidence of a hyper-advanced, fully abundance economy. Disney World seems to be a little bit closer to that than this particular locale, from what I can tell. So if you want to talk economic theory, I think you'll have a better chance arguing modern monetary theory with a professional economist than some guy in Florida.
Okay, thank you. So, what now?
What now? I mean,
we probably reached the nadir of this.
Yeah. So Georgi, were you trying to shill a cult at us? Like, is this a cult? Like, I don't know.
No,
is this a
it's
cult?
one person. It's one person that made
Right.
a vision for the future.
Right. This sounds like a cult. Like, I mean, you're not distinguishing it from a cult. Like,
if you look it up, you will know what I'm talking about.
Okay, yes, and it sounds like a cult. Like, if you're saying that it's not a cult, how is it not a cult?
No, it's a scientific society.
Okay, yeah, I
a
mean,
society with one person
that you have to venerate, and you probably have to sign over all of your property to, right? Georgi,
I don't believe in
does
that
this
stuff.
person? No, does this person ask you to give him money? Like, does he sell things? Does he ask
well,
you to
he doesn't anymore.
No,
I just
no.
actually noticed that the founder of this, Jacques Fresco, has been dead since 2017.
Oh shit.
So I think this might contradict the earlier thing about us being immortal beings, since this gentleman that we're now talking about is dead as a doornail.
Yeah, how can he be dead, Georgi, if we're eternal beings?
We go to non-physical side of things.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what the non-physical side of things means. Like that. And how do you
The
know?
non-physical place is where this economic place works.
Yeah.
Only 1% of us is in physical reality, and we are the reality itself. We're dreaming it.
So 1% makes the 100%, but where the other 99% don't exist, but do exist because we made them.
I feel like this math
I'm not
ain't
going to try to make
mathing.
that make sense.
It's a point
Georgi,
of view.
I think
I'm not
if you want to
trying
come
to
back and you
you.
want to discuss economics, you're going to have to do better than dead guy who was in Florida. You're going to have to do I've tried reading econ papers. They're not exactly easy reads, but they at least try to justify their arguments more than just, we want things, therefore they exist.
Excuse me, the last thing you said, we want things, therefore we exist.
I was saying that it's not true, that we want things, therefore they exist. If that's the way that you're going to write your theory of economics, you're going to be poor, destitute, and not even a curiosity to most folks.
Well, science will prove you wrong or right. I don't know.
Well, if you're telling me it's
Eventually.
non-physical, then the science isn't going to probably say such a thing. So there's a lot of things have to be wrong about everything, and you have to start making sense before you're going to be believed. And I don't think that's going to happen tonight, unfortunately.
What we call the supernatural is so subtle that we think we live in a natural world. But in reality,
you mean so subtle that it's indistinguishable from non-existence?
So yeah, Georgi, what we definitely need to move to super chats here in a second, but I'm kind of curious. what evidence do you have of any of the shit that you're saying? Like, do you have any evidence of it, or do you just have like speculative claims about this shit?
I can feel it. I think it's obvious to me.
I mean, I have a lot of feelings too there, Georgie. You know, like I don't want to be too explicit. It's a bit TMI, but I mean, like, I get feelings too, but none of them say that like my mind is creating reality. And also, I don't expect you to be convinced by my feelings.
It's only a point of view. I'm not trying to convince you on 100%.
Then why the fuck are you calling in?
Because I started with 3 suppositions that we can concur.
And not one of those suppositions has justified anything you have asserted. And instead, I have tried to reason through as much as I can the things you've said and see pretty blatant things that you just have to dismiss, that you basically have to somehow have wishful thinking be true, and yet somehow we've all deceived ourselves that our own wishes are undoing our wishes. And I wish we moved on to a different thing, and I think that's what we need to do tonight. That's the one wish that's going to come true tonight, Georgie. I'm sorry.
I agree.
All right. We got some
Georgie.
consensus. So, Georgie, yeah, have a good night or a good morning for that sake, since you're at least 6 hours ahead of us.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
All right. Bye, Georgie.
Hey, what's up? I'm glad you enjoyed that clip of people talking to each other. I'm Jimmy, and this is Eric. And well, we'd really love it if you would support us. Where can they support us, Eric? Where would they do that?
You know, I don't know, Jimmy, because I don't have the notes on me right now.
This is too long.
Like
the outros have to be short. Patreon.com/call the line.